Welcome back. Daily Show on a Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the year.
Happy New Year.
Second day of the work week, but first Tuesday of the year. You know, there's always a first for everything. And with the North Alton and Godfrey Business Council, it's time to spotlight them. And really, how fun was it the last month, Zeke, really to be with the council. Zeke Jaybusch, the president of the organization. And we also have Don, Riverbend Investment Management, and a member of the group with us. And, you know, Zeke, like I was just saying, last month was fun. I mean, breakfast with Santa, the Salvation Army. You know, where do we start on that? And just the success that those two events seem to have.
Well, to begin with, the Salvation Army is kind of an unknown and probably not much paid attention to organization which serves the needy, serves those less fortunate than some of us, and do a great job. And my wife and I were lucky enough to be asked to be chairpersons for the fundraising effort, and the community has come forth once again in a very positive way. They are about 60% of their goal, with proceeds yet coming in from December. So fundraising will continue through the end of the month, either by mail or by an online donation. And you have to see the activities that go on there to really appreciate what happens to people. And the smiles on their face or the appreciation that they show is satisfaction in terms of any volunteer effort or any contribution that you might make to support the effort. So we're very appreciative of what the community has done. We're very appreciative of people like my associate here who volunteered, who rang bells. That portion of the fundraising effort raises about 27% of the total budget.
It's incredible.
And there were 550 volunteers that rang bells this year, if you can believe that.
You can't, to me, honestly, Zeke, and I don't know how you feel about this, Don, but you can't have the Christmas feeling without seeing the Red Kettle campaign and having the bell ringing, you know, opportunities. And, you know, have you rang the bell was this the first year you've done that, or you've done this quite a bit?
No, I've done it quite a bit, even before I became affiliated with the Business Council. It's just always something that's been important to me. My daughter graduated from Marquette. There's always a service hour obligation, if that's the right word, there. My son attends Father McGivney, same thing. So our kids always needed service hours, and even if they didn't need them, I think it would be something that we did because, like you said, it's kind of a staple of that time of the year when you go to the grocery store or the drugstore or wherever it may be. There's usually somebody out there ringing the bells.
Now, let me ask you, since you're a veteran bell ringer, has this been a good winter for a good weather campaign for the bell ringing? Was it okay, or was it a little bit worse for wear sometimes to be out there?
Well, it depends. I mean, early on, I think early December.
It was a little rough.
Right. But lately, it's like, you know, you'd go out there with a hat and gloves, and about halfway through the shift, hey, you know, you don't need the hat and the gloves. So,
what was your worst December season? Was there ever one you were getting snowed on or anything like that? Because I haven't had the chance yet. I wanted to this year, but with the baby and everything, it was just a little bit more tough. Has there been one where you're out there kind of battling the elements?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I've done it so many times now. There's days where it's not real pleasant, but for the most part, it's not been too bad. But let me tell you something, and Zeke hit on this as well. This community is so generous. They're so giving. And even if somebody doesn't have anything to, quote, give that day or whatever, because a lot of people don't walk around with a lot of cash nowadays, myself included. True. Just people genuinely, hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this. You know, you hear that 5 or 6 times over a 2-hour period, and it really kind of renews your faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Whether people give or not, just the acknowledgement that people appreciate what you're trying to do for our community. It, as Zeke said, it really makes it worthwhile.
Totally agree. And, it kind of ties right back into, Zeke, the other part of December for the council, and that was Breakfast with Santa, which was really a community on display. That was fun. From the magician to the balloon artist, which I had kind of made, you want to be humbled, go to the Breakfast with Santa and then look at the line for the balloon artist, because I'm telling you, down the hill right after that,
It's really good.
Well, take me through that event. How was the turnout? Was it pretty successful that way?
It was. There were 193 people that were served, and of that number, 56 were children less than 5 years old. So that's really what it's all about.
That's cool.
Is for the children. And I thought we had a great event, and thanks to you for what you did in terms of
fun.
We had an on-live broadcast. CJ was the moderator in that regard. And how did you feel in terms of the responses that you were getting from?
Oh, we did great. It was really cool, because what we did, Don, is we did the live show, and then right afterwards we replayed it on Friday for people that might have missed it. And both times did really well, but then the replay did great. It got a couple of thousand of replays already. And
wow.
It was cool because we got to see Santa Claus, and we had the camera walking around to see the families having fun. And John's a great magician, so that was,
sure
we featured his performance on the broadcast too. You can see that at home at RiverBender.com /daily show. This is your 21st event.
21st.
And now 22nd is going to be happening too, right?
Right.
Well, and it ties in too, Zeke, with the council overall. And Don, I know you can speak with this too, is just the involvement and the different camaraderie that this council and maybe chamber just type of organization has compared to others, because it really is about just, whether it's volunteerism or just coming together, that community involvement. Is that something, Zeke, that you guys have just strived for over the years, or is that something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And this year, when new businesses are starting, what is your kind of advice to them? If whenever they're opening their doors, there are a couple already starting to pop up and getting their Facebooks ready that are in the area. What's your advice to them? Maybe about joining the business council, or just being just a part of the community.
Well, we like for them to come to a meeting to get an idea of who they're going to relate to in terms of like other businesses. And that's really where they get their information, in talking to other people, to socialize, to talk business, to talk what's going on in the community and in the area. We feel that this will give them a perspective of whether it's something that they might or might not like. We think dollar-wise that we are the best value in town, and we hope to keep it that way, although unknown costs come up periodically that might change that notion. So anyway, business is not easy, and we try to help in any way that we can in that regard. So.
And you guys can be a part of the next one, which is, I didn't miss it. The next breakfast meeting's Tuesday.
Is a week from today.
And where is that one going to be at?
It will be at NGREC, which is the National Great Rivers Research Center, down on the River Road at Lock and Dam exit. Mm-hmm. And we'll feature the Director of Operations, as well as the President and CEO or Executive Director of Alton Main Street. And she's going to talk about what's happened in terms of their market, their artisan and farmers market, and the economic impact back to the community, which I think our members will find of interest, as well as the community finding of interest.
And it's that's a great location too. The last time we were there, the river was frozen over. It looked great. And, Don, take me through just your experience. And that's what I wanted to kind of tie this back into, is just being a member of the council, because, we were talking before we came on the air and just chatting a little bit about being a sole proprietor and, being an entrepreneur, and to have opportunities like this, even for me, always feel really good just to have that, community around you. What have you experienced with the council?
When I think of the council, I guess I think of two words. I think of fellowship, and you just mentioned the other word. I think of community. We all are a part of this, and no matter what type of business that you're starting or that you're running, it could be a broadcast, it could be a financial company, it could be a law office. It could be, a variety of things. We all kind of face the same struggles, with regulations, taxes, where do I fit in? How do I get clientele? And so just the networking, the fellowship, the community aspect of it. I like the group. It's not overwhelming. Most of our events, there's usually 20, 30 people there. And after you meet somebody a couple of times, you recognize a face, you understand who they are and what they do. Zeke does a great job of welcoming visitors, encourages us as members to bring visitors to the meetings, whether they're a prospective new member or not. Everyone is always welcome. And I give Zeke a lot of credit. It has to be sometimes difficult to get somebody on a monthly basis to get up there and talk for a half hour, however long it is, and be about something interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I leave a meeting and go, I had no idea that this was in our community or what impact that this had. So I don't make every meeting, but I do make quite a few of them, and I'm usually glad that I went.
Exactly. And, I still go back to the one, Mary Lamey was still one of the best speakers. When I don't know if you were there, Don, but she talked about the freightway, and the byway development plan and how many millions of dollars that brings in. And it blows your mind because you go, wow, I used to drive by that all the time and have a different thought about looking at it. And now you go, oh my God, this is cool. And it's all because of just some of the insights you gain. Plus, like Don was just saying, the networking opportunities and the sense of fellowship and community. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the guys in the studio. But before we do that, take a look right here because we're going to come back and talk all about this Riverbend Investment Management. Don, this is your website, and I'm going to ask you about all the secrets to the world here, because I'm sure you don't get that enough.
Will do.
We'll be back with more Daily Show next.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu. When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today. As America prepares to celebrate 250 years of freedom, there's never been a better time to show your pride. The Flag Keeper provides everything you need to display your flag with honor, from American state and U.S. Armed Service flags to flagpoles, accessories, and installation kits for homes and businesses across the Riverbend area. Call 618-467-0020 or visit theflagkeeper.com for your free estimate today.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ehrman, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at RiverBender.com/energyfuture.
Welcome back, Daily Show. Spotlight on the North Alton and Godfrey Business Council continues with Zeke and Don. And, Don, getting back into just Riverbend Investment Management. I'm sure you get asked all the time for not the numbers to Powerball, but pretty darn close. And, how important is it, before we talk about this, to realize that it really is tailored to just the individual and really focusing on that aspect too.
Everybody's different. Everybody's personal circumstances are different. So the process that we go through is just trying to get to know people, and just as important, what's important to them. Because what's important to Zeke might differ from what's important to you and what's important to me. So you always try to get a feel for what the person ultimately wants to do. My practice, not surprisingly, we help solve a lot of different problems, but I would say the biggest problem we help people solve is that R word, retirement.
Yeah.
Again, we all have different life circumstances, but I've never met too many people in 35 years of doing this who haven't said, yeah, at some point I'd like to retire. And retirement means different things and looks differently to every person. But here, at the end of it, here's what retirement is. I voluntarily elect to not work anymore. So if you're going to do that, you've obviously got to have made some plans along the way to have some vehicles to generate some income for you when you choose or elect not to work. So that's what we try to solve.
Well, and I know that, it's still a generic. How is it never too early to start planning retirement, or is it, okay to, wait till I'm in my mid-30s to start looking at that?
Well, it's never too early and it's never too late.
There you go.
Either one. But yes, the earlier you start, the better, because time is on your side.
Yeah.
The earlier that you start. So the earlier that you start, the less that you'll have to put towards that specific goal. In this case, we're talking about retirement. So yes, starting early is good. And the earlier you can start, the less that you'll have to contribute.
Well, and Zeke, I don't know if you've had this happen lately, but I've been on YouTube and had every bit of an online financial advisor's advice giving me the new secrets on how to be wealthy, Don. And it's amazing though, because the online influencers tell me like there's some secret and I got to just subscribe to learn more. But every local financial advisor I talk to say, these things have never changed. There's certain components that have never changed. And Don, what are your thoughts on that? Just because I know we talked about this a time or two before.
No, you're absolutely right. There's no secret sauce here. There's not. So start early, spend less, contribute more, be diversified in your approach, be wary of the latest hot trend. If 1,000 people are talking about it, you're probably a little late to the party. So yeah, start early, spend less, contribute more, be as diversified as you can in your approach, and let time in the markets do all the legwork for you.
You said something so fascinating earlier and really important, and it was off the air, but you can get started really as little as $50 a month if you wanted to. Can you fill me in on that for maybe the younger people out there that thought, man, I needed to have at least $10,000 to jump on in?
Nope, $50 a month is a good place to start. Also for younger people, most employers now, no matter if they're a small employer, medium size, large, huge Fortune 500 company, they're going to have some sort of retirement plan available to you. Mm-hmm. Participate. People change jobs a little bit more frequently these days than maybe they used to, in the past. Doesn't matter. Most plans are portable now. You can take it to your next plan, put it in your own IRA. So yes, start early and do as much as your budget will allow.
Well, and one thing I am fascinated about, and that's when it comes to new things, and I guess the C word would be crypto right now, because I see that and I have no idea what it is. And I remember when Bitcoin was talked about in 2013 and had no idea what it was then. What is your advice to people, and not really when it comes to you should do crypto or not, but is there a specific research tool, or is there a certain opportunity that you recommend for folks to take a look at when it comes to newer forms of investing?
I don't know that there's a specific tool, but always be leery. Ask lots of questions. The crypto space, it's exploded. There's so many different areas of it, but here's one thing that most of that space has in common that makes me a little hesitant, and is a lot of it is unregulated.
Yeah.
So it's still so new. The regulators still haven't quite figured out how we can make this an even playing field for everyone and not to where it's just benefiting a small segment of participation. So tread lightly, tread carefully, do your homework. And if something is unregulated, you really, really have to double up the amount of homework that you do.
Absolutely. And, Zeke, this is why I like the council as well so much, is because you can go in there and it's not because I'm just doing an interview. I mean, you can help. There's been so many times that I've asked questions just for myself personally to folks in the room, and it's getting answers from, like Don's, is an expert in this, field that's done it for, a long time and really has seen this. And it's not just with financial advice, it's with a gauntlet of different things and different services that the members provide.
Right. Exactly.
Well, and Zeke, too, even though it says North Alton and Godfrey, I think the big thing is that it really expands quite beyond that, because there are members that are, quite frankly, out of North Alton and Godfrey and from out of the area, and it really creates a larger community. So it really isn't just for the two towns, correct?
Correct. We consider ourselves to be regionally focused in terms of we're willing to accept members from anywhere. As long as they feel that it's going to benefit them and that they're going to get something out of it. And the only thing that we ask is that they come with regularity, or as often as they can, that they participate whenever they can, knowing that there are many other things that are more important than the business council. But that's what makes a great organization, is participation. Mm-hmm. And ideas are the secondary contributor to an organization and its growth. And I think we've benefited from those ideas that have been created from within the organization to try to address changing times, to try to more focus upon the needs of our members in terms of their businesses. So whether we're doing that or not, I'm not sure, but I hope that we are.
You are. And I wanted to add one more thing to that. What I appreciate a lot of things about the council, but the exchange of ideas, it's done mostly in person, face to face, in an era, in a world, in a society where we get on our devices and yell at each other, shout at each other, say things that no sane person would ever say to someone if they were sitting across the desk from them. The council, the exchange of ideas, it's done in a courteous, professional manner. I don't ever remember there being an argument. I don't ever remember somebody leaving a meeting, mad. It's just, again, it's community, it's fellowship, and Zeke hit on it, an exchange of ideas, but I like it that it's done in a courteous and professional manner.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, it's been great having you both in the studio. Zeke, is there anything else to promote right now when it comes to the council? Anything else besides this meeting and the next meeting in February and every monthly meeting that's coming up?
The February meeting will feature Don as one of our guest speakers, along with one other member. And this we started doing about 4 years ago, where we're featuring the members in terms of letting others know exactly what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And that allows people to understand the community better, understand the people better. Mm-hmm. So we're looking forward to having Don as one of our guest speakers. And the other guest speaker is an unknown as yet, but will be great, just like Don. So.
This is cool. Well, and so like we're talking about next Tuesday, the 13th at 7:30, this is going to be at the National Great Rivers Research and Education Center on February 10th. That's a Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. The Godfrey Meat Market, by the way, one of my favorite stops along the North Alton Godfrey. Venue locations and the venue tour, and then in March, it'll be March the 10th at Johnson's Corner at 11:30, and that one's always a packed house too. Don, before I let you go, what's the best way to get in touch and just schedule some time to maybe talk with you?
You can get to me through my website, RiverBend.com. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I always like phone calls. 618-468-1106 is my office number, and we're always happy to speak to folks with whatever concern that they have.
Absolutely, Don. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me. Zeke, thanks for the
Thank
invitation.
you very much, Don.
Zeke, thank you. And you can learn more about how to be a part of the council at NAGBC.com. That's NAGBC.com. And we'll see you at the next meeting on the 13th. That's next Tuesday. Quick break, more show next.